backcountry venison, steak and onions.
Yeah, this is Fort 2 here, just the short range forecast.
Girls can fish.
High fives.
We're flying into a block deep in the southern Ureweras with heli hunt and fish from Taupo. Our supplies are being ferried further up creek to be dropped onto the other side of the flood-swollen stream. The Urewera National Park is around 220,000 hectares and is the largest national park in the North Island. It consists of dense bush country with streams and rivers zigzagging in all directions. When they're in flood like this one, they're dangerous if you attempt to cross them. For advice and tips on river crossings, visit mountainsafety.org.nz. It wasn't long before camp was set up and boredom set in. The good thing about flying is there's no end to the gear you can carry. We often eat better out here than we do at home.
Nice whiskey to go with the steak.
Yeah, g'day Richard, this is 2242. We just missed the first part of the weather, the short range forecast, but we have no messages. Over.
The mountain radio is great company in the backcountry and a cheap way to communicate with the civilised world.
Yeah, copy that. Do you want the forecast again, 4-2, over? So they want the weather again, the first part, and all well in camp, over. That's the first part they want, over.
Yeah, this is Fort 2 here. If just the short range forecast for this area would be appreciated. Thanks. Over.
The mountain radio will set you back around $55 for 1 week's use. It's a pretty good deal for peace of mind.
And we're going to seal it off with caramelised onions.
Just the short range would be fine. Thanks.
Backcountry venison, steak and onions. Oh man, that's a bit above the tension, isn't it? Way out here in the middle of the six. Aha, look at that.
But the weather was not looking like giving us a break anytime soon, and hearing the weather report doesn't mean the rain will stop. More waiting and desperately seeking patches of blue sky leads to the consumption of more food.
Tuna and basil, good stuff. Very nice. This one? Your turn, eh?
This is an area where Howard and Sean spent some time during the Raw last year, so they know the area pretty well, so we're pretty keen to get out for a look. Enough's enough, and it's time to brave the endless mist and saturated bush. The amount of food we've had is enough to scare any weight-conscious bushman, but this following encounter really made us jump. This stag smelt us, and dealing with the wind is your biggest adversary when hunting in the bush. We climbed high, and after about an hour of bush bashing and constant drips, we made it to the top of the mist-drenched ridge. The conditions weren't too bad, the wind wasn't too much of a problem, and the bush opened up into predominantly ferns, moss and beech trees. This area had a large snowfall in 2006, so there were still signs of tree fall and branch decomposition about. Under normal circumstances, that makes the going pretty noisy. Often people say it's like walking through cornflakes. However, when it's wet like this, the undergrowth's saturated, so the going's a lot more quiet.
Yeah, well, we had a bit of a sleep in this morning because
Just rained and rained and rained all
the
night.
rain was terrible last night. So we had a bit of a sleep and got away by sort of 9 o'clock or something, wasn't it?
Yep.
Come up the ridge right up on top here.
Yeah.
And
Still very miserable conditions.
yeah,
though.
it's
It's
horrible, yeah.
Yeah, horrible.
And we were
but,
soaked through.
Oh, it's,
But,
it's, at least it's not blowing, or not
yeah.
blowing strong wind. So
But so we haven't heard many roars. We heard one before, and he sort of smelt us, didn't he? And then we're actually just going to turn around here and give a few roars, and then
The idea is to imitate the stag's roar and call them in as close as possible.
Just had a little bit of wet weather there and took the mic off and just packing things away. And the boys spotted a young stag coming in. He had a little hind with him too, because I saw her take off up that way. But he kept on coming in. It was a freak, and I'm down here trying to get the camera ready. What do you think of that?
oh, that was awesome. It was
that's the closest I've ever been to a stag, and he's come right in.
You see, he was only about a metre away from you.
Yeah.
He was about 2 metres from us. What a neat little stag, though, isn't he? Eh?
Oh yeah, beautiful animal.
He's feeling the weather the same as what we are.
He looked so pretty with the water coming down his coat and everything, eh?
It was astounding.
And he was quite oblivious to you until he actually got to here. He didn't even.
I've been close to stags, but
Yeah.
that's one of the closest, and I wanted to see what he did. He just stopped there.
Yeah, he
looked
stopped there and looked at you. I think he might have actually seen me move my hand because I was just right behind you.
No, he crossed our scent. We just walked here. See,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why he took off so hard.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It's
Lucky
come
you got
down.
the camera out. But you just
Yeah.
said, I don't think we're going to see anything, boys. We'll put it away. Always the way, isn't it?
Murphy's.
Oh yeah.
Soon after returning from the Ureweras, we got an email from Lynn Westerman saying her husband had found 4 dead deer up the back of their property after a poison drop. We've decided to pop down and take a look, so Norm Anderson's just pointing out exactly where the block is.
Taihape here, up the main highway, up to Wairu, the block that was poisoned in here, public access into the Zeke's huts up in this area here somewhere. You get another private block, all accessible here by 4-wheel drive. Tracy Peters, army boundary along the back here, motor car station down this side, all accessible. Then Allen's block across the front here.
In regard to this area that we're looking at here, what round about how many hectares is the Hihitahi bush?
Well, I believe it's 5,000 hectares.
5,000. And do you think, is it a rugged terrain area that there's no access to?
Well,
or?
oh no, it's got, most of the main ridges are actually well walkable. Some of the side gullies get a bit steeper, but there's nothing that I've come across that isn't easily walked as far as for doing bait stations on major ridges. This is country that those people keep saying it has to be aerially done because no one will walk it. After I found the animal, I looked and you could still see the blood coming out of the nose of the animal, and this drop was quite a few, back on the 17th of June from memory.
How long ago was that? Well, it's the
3rd of August today.
It's in very good condition, considering, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, when you find an area where you get good conditioned animals, it's usually a good sign that animal numbers are not high. I've always been of the opinion that all poisons, because that's what they are, and there's no antidote, they should all be used in a controlled situation, not actually spread, because when you look at what people have to keep poisons, drenches, dips, they have to have lockable cupboards. Yet these people are coming out here and throwing around something far more toxic from a helicopter. And my opinion is it will end up existing in something for years to come if they keep going, like, spreading at the same levels they're doing.
Quite gooey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we are. This looks like the place where the other yearling is that belonged to the hind we've just been looking at, because you can see by the flattened grass areas, which led me to go down here and find him crumpled into the tree. Yeah, see, obviously he thrashed his way down here and then got stuck against those branches and log and couldn't go any further and died there.
You can see the trail, and then it's obviously run into the trees here and couldn't go any further.
Got its head caught,
Stopped,
neck
yeah.
caught there. It's interesting here, if you come in a bit closer here, there's clearly blood coming like from the side of it here. I don't know what that would be, but it's...
Probably from raking himself with his hooves, would he be?
Maybe, I don't know.
It's quite swollen, that front leg.
The clearly, once again, if you come over here, Shortle, you can see that out the face, once again, stains of blood around the mouth, the eye, clearly around the mouth. See the redness of the mouth. Can you pick that up or not? Yeah. See that, it's just that, always that redness, and the eyes looks like that's burst again.
Yeah, bleeding out of the eyes, I'd say.
Yeah, which is typical for what we find in...
Definitely been injured. Because it's obviously swollen. So it's obviously injured that front leg, and it's had time to swell before the deer's actually died. This is the male that have been thrashing around. We should, by following this ridge on further this way, find a reasonable size hind.
Well, this is deer number 4. This is one that Alan found the other day, and just another display of this shocking activity.
But as you can see here, the bush is still in all lovely good condition, so obviously they're not an issue to it. Still plenty of undergrowth, still plenty of shrubs out there, new trees coming up through.
Exactly.
So I don't see any issue.
Well, all the streams that flow out on the western side go into the Hihitahi River, which then becomes Taihape's water supply.
Right.
So yeah, it's not an ideal situation to be just aerial dropping 1080.
That's deer number 5, once again. Beautiful country. Nice,
Easily accessible for hunters and does get used regularly by hunters.
What a waste, the end of the Hihitahi. Another deer. This is deer number 6 for the day. The question is just how many deer are being killed in these drops. Obviously you can't find every one. The bush is quite thick and posies, but it's nice. It's some great grassy little areas, and this is another yearling of some sort. There'll possibly be another hind around here, so Steve and I will take a poke around and see what we can find. What are the scrapes? We were just snooping through here, and I just glanced back, and there's another deer, sort of belly up as it'll whatever, but come on through.
it's a bigger deer. It's the hind. It's the hind. Whether it's the hind of number 6 or whether this is a, you know, a separate deer to that one, I don't know. But quite often we find a hind. They've gone around. They've either consumed a lot of bait or they've had a lower dose. We don't know which it is, but you can see all the blood around the eyes, around your eyeballs here.
Blood around the legs there again too. You can see the redness there.
Yeah,
I don't know what causes
swollen. This poor old thing. Oh, quite a bit of blood here for some reason, as if she's ejected quite a bit of blood here. There's blood in among here.
Yeah,
right.
All under the leg.
And under the leg for some reason. See, that's blood on my finger there. That's it's all in, look at all the blood. Let's have a look. There, see that blood down there.
Right.
And then on the ground, it's just dark
blood there. Yeah.
From her poor old mouth as she's.
Oh, there's blood coming out around the down in here as well.
Under there. She's obviously. You could suggest that she's sort of been dribbling her way along and then just slid into there.
Yeah.
I'm going to just pull her out so you can actually get a look at her face and let's see what it looks like down in there. A bit ugly.
The eye looks terrible, doesn't it? Really blood around it. There's been all blood out of the nose.
Which is typical, isn't it?
Yeah, just all looks terrible. There's blood on the ground here, probably doesn't pick that up. You see it all there.
Let's see that there. A lot of blood in the ground.
Yep. Got all that, that's just terrible. Look at the eye, she's really been bleeding out of the eye. Eh?
Here we've got possum number 5. We've had 7 deer, 5 possums now. This one's got a joey with it, which is not unusual to find at this time of year. Often we come across deer where the hinds have got a yearling or a fawn, and often the fawn's either poisoned through the milk or left to starve. There you go.
Deer number 8. This fella's a nice spiker. Just got the little spikes there. He's in beautiful condition. Quite a large bodied animal for his age. Now of course the public get told that only the sick or the weak deer get hammered with 1080. Well, of course every animal we've seen's in beautiful nick. So that's a load of nonsense. Scientists have estimated a kill rate of about 50% of deer per drop, and it's been estimated around 20,000 per year. And yeah, well, I mean, that's obviously pretty accurate because it's a heck of a lot. And all of this happens, of course, within the walls of the forest, so nobody ever gets to see it. So you've got cruelty on a huge scale. It's just an awful thought to think that we could be one of the cruelest nations in the world towards animals.
Good stuff, Terry.
Oh, it was fantastic. Just to sit there, you know, no gun, no pressure, and just watch it come down. And when it come down, I actually seen it raw. So that was my actual first seeing a stag raw. And obviously I seen it again when he come out here and he roared again. And to be that close to an animal like that, just unbelievable. It just shows you, man.
Deer number 9, unfortunately. Now the hind, would expect there'd be a yearling somewhere nearby, but it's really getting quite late, so we need to get out of here. Come over here for a second. Watch your head. Look at this, right nearby, surprisingly, there was a bird, a large bird.
No doubt died of 1080, and then it's been just scavenged.
Well, that's right, it's a victim of 1080 more than likely, and it's been scavenged.
Now that we've come round to the northern boundary of the Hihitahi sanctuary, we're actually on Tracy Peters' property, which also just round the corner borders onto Monganui Station. This area has also been done with 1080, and so far we've looked through quite a bit of bush, and we haven't actually found where there's any dead possums in this fringe area, which is where you would expect to find them.
So here we have deer number 10, a nice hind in good condition. I think it's important to point out just how much poison's being dropped around these drop zones. For example, in a 3 kilogram per hectare drop, which is standard across most of the country, there's enough poison to kill 1,200 possums per hectare. 112 deer per hectare. And then if we look at just how many baits it takes to kill a deer, it's only 2. 2 baits are more than enough to kill a deer of this size.
I like deer, and a lot of the other people in the area do like deer. I don't know why they can't just leave it alone when no one in the area, or most people in the area, don't seem to agree with what they're doing. I've spoken to a lot of people, and I have tried to be open-minded on the information that I've gathered, but they haven't changed my mind. I'm still totally anti what they're doing. I've reported these deaths to the SPCA because I am an SPCA supporter, and a lot of people would go to jail for less than what these people have done to the deer on this reserve. Yeah, it's definitely time now that the considerations of other people are taken into account with this. It's had the knockbacks from the 1080 their way. I think it's now time they moved on to the bait station scenario and just do their target species and let the people of the area have their use of the bush how they would like to use it themselves.
Everybody's doing some hunting here, even Herb and me.
Crikey, Dick. I don't know, man, this is dismal light. I thought I'd try the flash.